So what is simple machines? Simple machines is nothing but any mechanical arrangement that makes our work very easy. So if you want to pull or push something, you put lot of energy to do it, right? If see, I hope you all are with 30 kgs or 40 kilos, right? So if you want to push something which is 100 kilos, 100 kg, is it possible for you to push? Yes, is it possible? No, you try to push it very hard, right? It cannot be pushed. Or if suppose you want to lift a small child of your age, if Kaushik wants to lift a boy of his age, is it possible for Kaushik to lift that boy? Lift you, right? Father is very easy, but for you it is very tough, right? So for each and every person, the ability to do certain work is different. So in order to make the work very easy and simple, we have simple machines. There are few simple machines that makes a life very easy, and we do it without knowingly, we do it in our day-to-day life. Okay, we'll see what are all those simple machines. And before seeing what are the simple machines, we just recollect some of the basics of physics and mechanics. Okay, so this is force and energy. Now we'll move on to pull. How will you pull? Can anyone show me how will you pull? How will you pull? You try to pull like this, right? Pull. Yes. Yes. So when you're trying to pull something very if the mass of the object is very high, very high, you cannot pull it, right? It will be very difficult to pull. If you want to draw water from a well, what will you do? Will you just put your bucket inside the well and pull it out? Is it easy for you to do that? Huh? No, it is not easy. But in order to make it simple, we have what is called as the pulley, a small wheel that is attached on top of your well, so that when you pull the rope, your water bucket will get lifted up from the well, right? So when you're trying to pull something, you pull it like this. Your force, the way you put your force, you try to pull it like this towards you, right? When you pull something, you pull it like this towards you. The action or the force acts. How is it act? It pulls it like, you pull it like this, right? So the force is acting towards you, correct? The force is acting towards you when you pull. But in a push, you're trying to pull it away from you. The force acting is away from you. You try to push it like this. Yes, I try to push it like this. This is the way my force acts. I try to push it like this. Push. Is it easy to push a weight, a big box, a newly bought fridge or a washing machine that is packed in an Amazon pack? Is it able? Do you able to push it? Yes. No. So in order to make the push very simple, they have attached wheels. See, in our supermarket cart, we have wheels below. So you can put all your things on the cart and you push to wherever you go, right? You have the wheels, so it makes your work very simple. Yes, you try to push, you have the wheels below and you push and you try to push it, so it moves very smoothly on the flat surface, right? Yes. If the surface is not very flat, will you able to push it? You have to push it very hard, right? So we use wheels. We use wheels to make the push very easy. So how does the push act? It acts away from us. The force acts away from us. But in pull, the the force acts towards us. We are bringing the object towards us. So we are pulling it, right? So we are pulling it. The force, we are trying to bring it towards us. Whereas in push, we are trying to push it away. So the direction of the force is on the opposite side of us, right? The direction of force is to the opposite side of us. Yes? Now you understand what is push and pull? Know the difference between push and pull? Yes, I told the word push, force. So I'm trying to push, pull. So I'm utilizing my force. If I try to push a wall at the back, the wall at the back of me, if I'm trying to push the back a wall, I'm put some pressure, right? I'm trying to put some pressure on the wall. So what is the pressure that I'm using from my body to the wall? What is that? It is called as your force. What is that? It is called as your force. The pressure with I push, right? The pressure with I pull, it is called as the force. Okay, what is it? It is called as the force. Force is that when you slap someone very hard. What is that? You're using your force to slap him, right? So it is called as your force. Okay, the force with the force you slap him, right? Or you use your bat, you put your force, right? When you use a lot of force, your ball goes away from you, or otherwise it stays here in the crease itself, right? Yes, so that is called as force, and the force is used to increase the speed. What is that? Increase the speed. How can the force increase the speed? How can the force increase the speed? If I want, yeah, I'll tell you, wait. If I want to push something, what will you do? You just try to push it might be very slowly or very fastly. When I try to push it very slowly, it moves a small distance. When I try to push it very hard, it moves very fast, right? So it increases the speed of the object. If I strike a ball with my bat, if I do it very hard, what will the ball do? It moves away and it reaches the audience, right? So with a fraction of second, it reaches the audience. So the speed of the ball increases, right? So the force increases the speed of the ball. And what is that? Decrease the speed of the ball. Decrease the speed of an object. When does it decrease the speed of an object? So once the ball is being hit, now the fielder is going to catch the ball. So if he's catching the ball, he doesn't catch it like this, right? When he catches, with the force or speed, the ball coming, your hand just moves away from after it catches, it just moves down, right? Have you ever seen a player catching the ball? Yes, fielder catching the ball. Once he catches like this, he moves his hand like this, right? With the speed, he just moves it. That is because the speed of the ball, he is decreasing the speed of the ball. But the speed of the ball doesn't decreases abruptly to zero. It decreases very slowly, right? It decreases very slowly. So when he catches the ball, a ball that is coming very fast, it just comes like this and sit, and because of there is speed in his ball, so it just moves down. Okay, so it decreases the speed of the object. So the force that I'm using to catch the ball, and it just comes deaccelerates down. Okay, now change trajectory. What is that trajectory? Trajectory is the path along which the object travels. Trajectory is the path along which an object travels. Okay. See, when a spinner, I'm using all from the cricket, so I hope everyone can able to correlate with what I'm talking. Okay, so I'm using the cricket as my examples. Okay, when a spinner or a fast bowler is trying to bowl the ball, where does the ball comes? It comes directly to the bat, right? It comes directly to the bat. It bounces once and then it hits the bat. But when it hits the bat, what does the batsman do? He tries to hit it away, right? With his force, with his force, he tries to change the trajectory. What is that? Try to change the trajectory of the ball so the ball moves in other direction, right? Yes? Can you understand what is trajectory now? So the ball once travels here, when it hits the bat, it moves to some other direction, right? The path changes, right? Once it was moving like this, when the batsman hit the ball with the force, and it moves like this, right? It moves away into the boundary, right? So the trajectory means it is a path along which the ball is traveling. So it is called as trajectory, okay? It change the shape of the object. When does an object change the shape? When does an object change the shape? If suppose the object is moldable, that means your dough which with your mommy makes chapati, right? See the dough? Yes. With the dough, when I apply some force in it, a spear shaped dough changes into a oval shaped or a flat shaped object, right? I mean flat shaped chapati, right? When I roll the chapati, what will happen? I apply my force to roll the chapati, right? The spear shaped chapati dough changes into a flat dough, right? Yes. So the force, anyone has a doubt? Yes, Kaushik?
Can we also change shape by breaking things?
Yeah, but it is called as destruction. Okay. Okay. It is destructing things, okay? You're destroying it. That don't want to mention it in the examples, okay? But yes, of course, you apply force to destroy something so that it changes its shape. It's also application of force, okay? That's the force increases the speed of the object, decrease the speed of the object, change the trajectory, okay? Change the trajectory means it changes the path of along the path with which the object travels, and it changes the shape of an object, okay? Shall I move to the next slide? Yes. So I say it moves. I say the object moves. See, one side I say the force is being applied on what? On what is the force being applied? It is being applied on an object. I apply the force. Okay. Here is an object. I apply the force. When I apply the force, I say it changes its speed. It changes its trajectory path, and it changes its shape. All these quantities do have a dimension. If suppose I say a speed, you know the formula of speed? Does anyone know the formula of speed? So I explain. What is the speed? Say if there is a distance from A to B, okay? There is some distance of say 1 meter of length. What is it? 1 meter of length, and an object takes, when I apply force, the object takes 1 minute to reach the A and B. To reach the B point. The first object takes 1 minute to reach B point. And there is another object where I apply a lot of force and it moves the distance of 1 meter in half a minute, in 30 seconds, okay? In 30 seconds. So which has the highest speed? Object B has the highest speed, okay? So when I say the speed of the object is high, What are the things that I take into correlation? I take the distance it travels. That is, I take the distance its travel is 1 meter, right? I measure the distance as meters. A distance as meters. So the speed is dependent upon distance. That is length. Length is 1 meter. I take it as meters. So if I say speed, I take care of my distance. Then I mentioned it as in seconds. What is that in seconds? It is in time. The time traveled by the object to reach to reach B. Right. So there are two things that I used. One is the distance it travels and the time it takes to travel the distance. So speed depends upon two factors. One is time, the other one is the distance. The distance you of course measure it by length, and time you have the quantities like seconds, minutes, right? So I have given you the quantity name, its unit of measurements and its symbols, okay? It's standard SI units. And you have the mass. Mass is the mass of the object. I apply the same force, but the objects travel in different speed, right? If suppose the object is thin feather, if I push it with my same force, it moves a long distance, right? But if I try to move an Amazon box with washing machine inside, if I try to push with the same force, does it move for a long distance? No, you get tired, right? So it also depends upon the mass of the object which you're trying to push or pull, okay? It depends on the mass of the object and length that it travels and the time with which it moves to cover the distance, okay? And finally, you're talking about the force that I apply on the object, okay? The force that I apply on the object. So here he is doing some work. Here with the force I'm doing some work, okay? When I try to push or pull something, I am trying to do a work. What is that work? You will have formulas, that is not necessary, but you understand the physics that is I'm trying to teach you, okay? So you are doing some work. So what work is being done here? You're trying to push an object with 12 Newton of force from a distance A to B of 5 meters in 3 seconds, okay? So my work is said to be done if there is a change in the distance. Yes? Okay? Is it clear for everyone?